continue with the next presentation. So now we move from the module makers to materials and equipment companies. And we're happy to have with us Bo Jin, who is the overseas sales manager at Hangzhou First. And he will talk about encapsulation solutions for back contact modules. Bo, please go ahead.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right,
Good.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your introduction. And hello, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me clearly. And yeah, my name is Bo, and I will give you a short presentation about the BC encapsulation solutions. And I need to share my presentation. Just one moment. Yeah, could you see my screen? All right, I will play my presentation. Okay, everyone, I will give you a short presentation about the encapsulation solutions for BC modules. So this is my outline. There are 5 parts. The first part is about the development status of BC technology, and the second part is the encapsulation solutions for BC modules, and the third part, this is a material used for BC cell, insulation ink. And in the fourth part, I would also introduce some of the aesthetic materials for BC modules. And in the last part, I will give a short summary. So this is the status of the BC technology, or maybe in general, or the cell market share. For example, currently I think PERC, popcorn, heterojunction, these are still the dominating cells in the cell market. And BC is also one of popular cell technology, and it has lots of advantages. For example, it can adapt to the above mentioned cell technology, and it has high power generation because there is no shadings on the front, and also visually it looks better than the other modules. So on the right part here, you can see the trend of the market share for different cell technology. And the gray part here, this is the BC cell, and this is the association in China, and the expectation for BC is also increasing in the coming years. So for the development history of BC cell, actually it started from 1975, and for about 20 years after, it experienced the exploring period, and the power generation could reach 23.2%, and from 1997, SunPower, and also known as Maxeon, was the leader of the BC cell technology, and their first generation cell, second generation cell was introduced during the third period of the history, and in the fourth period of history, from 2011 to 2016, the research on BC is actually booming. So like the China's module makers, Trina, they are focusing also in this technology, and also SunPower, they introduced their third generation cell. And now we are experiencing the fifth period of the BC cell technology. So we could see actually different developing directions for BC, for example, TBC and the HVBC and the HBC, etc. And the power generation is getting higher and higher. So the characteristic of BC cell, it is clear. On the front side, there's no contacts, so no shading loss is there, and it brings higher efficiency. And on the front, we could use thinner encapsulant. And on the back side, both positive and negative electrodes are there. So it needs to be insulated from one to another. And the encapsulant for the backside, it needs to be thicker and providing the better protection. And aside from that, different type of BC cell technology has different anti-PID requirement and also needs the anti-corrosion requirement. Here we could give you some examples of the encapsulation proposals. We can see that when it is HPBC cell, we introduce to use POE or EPE on the front side, and the grammage can be lower or not higher than 360 GSM, and it brings anti-PID property. And on the back side, EVA or white EVA would be enough. It brings anti-corrosion property. And for the TBC model, it is normally glass to glass, and the front again on the front side, POE or EPE is recommended to be used, and again it can be thin and brings the anti-PID property, and on the back side it needs POE or EPE to offer the anti-PID and anti-corrosion property. And for the HBC module, it needs POE, EP, or even EVA on the front, and it can be also thin and bring the anti-UV property, because the heterojunction, it is a bit more sensitive to UV light than the other type of cell. And on the back side, it needs higher water resistance than the other cells, so it needs thick POE or EPE. So a bit more introduction about the thin POE film from our company. So it is suitable for the front side of BC cell, and it brings the excellent anti-PID performance and also brings the high light transmittance. So we actually produced POE material for a long time. From 2012, we started to produce cross-linking POE at the time, and later from 2016, we started our thermoplastic POE production. And from 2018 to 2022, based on different type of new cell technology, we always develop suitable POE films, especially like the one in 2019, we developed co-extrusion film, EVA plus POE and also plus EVA, 3-layer material. So we categorize this into POE material because the POE layer in the middle, it brings the specialty for this material. So in the pictures in the middle of the presentation, you could see that very tiny defects could be easily noticed for the BC module, and we could easily see this kind of situation when we use POE for the encapsulation on the front, and our POE material can avoid this kind of impurity disturbance, and it can also make it very thin, like 280 to 360 micrometer thickness, and as well as keeping the low shrinkage rate and also good adhesion to glass, and the most importantly, no appearance defect. And a bit more introduction about the EPE film material. This is also suitable for the front side of the BC cell, and it can also bring the a good PID, anti-PID performance and high light transmittance. And as I introduced, it is 3-layer material, and the POE layer, we could guarantee it can be modified or customized from 90 to 150 GSM. and the total EPE material can keep 280 to 360 grammage. And it also brings, how to say that, the excellent thickness uniformity for each layer and the flatness and the shrinkage rate. And here, the EP304, this is the model name of the UV through version EPE from us. So a bit more introduction about the properties of EP304. As I introduced, the anti-PID property, it is offered from the POE layer in the middle, and the grammage can be like 330 grammage for EP material, and the POE layer in the middle, it can keep 110 grammage, and that is actually enough for the anti-PID property for cell protection. Here we could share some reliability test result. You can see that from the front side and sorry, this is back side. From both sides, we tested different EP material with different thickness of POE layer in the middle, and we see that 110 grammage for POE layer. This is actually enough for top cone cell for the anti-PID property, and we also find a similar result for the TBC cells. Okay, and here, this is the second part of the presentation. So we also offer the special film. For example, here, this is a high reflective black film. It has the two-layer structure. So the cell side, it is black color, and to the air side, it is actually white. So the white color film, it brings the reflection for the infrared light, and the light can be used for the BC cell. So you can see that this film can be applied for glass-to-glass BC model as well as glass-backsheet BC model. So this material, the model name is F806WH. The property, you could see that the reflection rate, it is in average 75% in the infrared wavelength, and it also has very good reliability. You could see that PCT test result and UV plus DH test result, and also the heating test result. It has very excellent sorry. Yeah, color stability and the migration resistance. Yeah, and the third part, this is the insulating ink, which can be used to insulate the positive contact and negative contact of the BC cell. So we also have this kind of material. In general, we have two type of insulating ink. One is the thermal curing type, and the other one is UV curing type. So we could offer the insulating ink with colors and also with transparent version. The transparent version can be possible for thermal curing and as well as the UV curing type. And you could see that this is the transmittance rate of both series. TF series is the thermal curing series, and the FURN or FURA, this is the UV curing series. So when you focus on the transparent version, it has very high transmittance for both. And here we could also see under the aging test, DH test, TC test, or HF test, the adhesion of the insulating ink is also good enough. And for the UV light resistance, we also tested the yellowness index, and it is also shows very good performance for both thermal curing and UV curing insulating inks. Okay, and some other materials which is suitable for BC model. We also offer the black backsheet, and among the black backsheet, we have high reflective black backsheet. It reflects the infrared light, and the reflection rate is higher than 60%. And since it's black, it also visually brings very good looking for the BC model. So the structure of this backsheet is black coating to the cell side and the PET in the middle, and white or black coating on the air side. So here we have some real case of the application of HR black backsheet in China. So we compare the modules using the high reflective black backsheet and the normal black backsheet. So we could see that the average power comparison, it is higher than, it is 2.25% higher than the normal backsheet modules. And if you see the total power comparison, it is 2.62% higher than the normal backsheet modules.
2 minutes, Bo.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And we also have the cover strip material for the BC model. So this is to cover the wires in the middle of the cell matrix. So the strip, we call it PI strip. We have both colors. One is white color and the other one is black color. It can adapt to the backsheet color. Okay, you could see some showcases here. So a short summary about my presentation. So BC cell technology could adapt to PERC, TOPCon, and heterojunction, etc. The other cell technology. And the BC cell has no contacts on the front. So it is possible to use thin encapsulant on the front. And on the back side, we could also apply white film or black film as encapsulant, and it can increase the power generation and also brings the good looking. And BC cell needs insulating ink to separate positive and negative contacts, and we are offering UV curing or thermal curing insulating ink. And also we offer like the high reflective backsheet and the PI cover strip for BC models. Yeah, that's all. Thank you. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks, Bo. Just quick questions. When you talked about getting the material thinner at the front, so what was the reason? Was it mostly cost actually? And then you said 110 is you tested until 110 and you didn't see any changes. How much thinner could you go? So what would be the lower?
Yeah, I think one important reason is, as you mentioned, this is because of the cost down trend, and the other reason is because of the BC cell special structure. There's no contacts on the front, so it has less risk to apply the thinner film on the front. And as for the EPE material, the grammage of the POE layer in the middle, 110 grammage. So this is currently what we consider the limit to keep the anti-PID property. And of course, I think based on the cell technology development, we could continue our exploration or test to make it thinner and thinner. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Very helpful. So there's one question in the chat. If you might want to address that, that would be nice.
Oh, 1 second.
Yeah. So I think you can do it maybe in a written form so that we can continue. We're running a little bit
All
behind.
right. All right. Yeah.
Thanks, Bo. Great
Yeah.
presentation.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah.